sorry, anything
get
that
shroomed out and fucking tape one of these.
In the 1930s, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt addressed the nation through a series of radio broadcasts known as the Fireside Chats. His aim was to reassure the common man that our society would recover from its troubled times. But we're far from 1930, and I deal with a different kind of fire. For a new era of worldly frustration, we offer a fresh conversation. I'm Greg Carlwood, and these are the Higherside Chats.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of the Higherside Chats. Greg Carlwood, I'm here with Mike Vinn.
Yeah!
Comedian from San Diego in the Comedy Store, and Paul Herrmann, another comedian from La Jolla Comedy Store. They're filming for Ryan Dunn today, who just couldn't make it. On the last day of Shroomfest, which is kind of an event. Ari Shaffir, I guess, started the Shroomfest idea.
Yes, this is the first annual Shroomfest created by Ari Shaffir, best known as the internet sensation, The Amazing Racist, that you can find on YouTube and all over the place.
Hi, I'm Ari Shaffir, and I'm The Amazing Racist. For an Asian, she kind of has an ass, huh? Right. Say it. Say it with the arts. Right. Can you do it?
Yeah, it's like 420 but for shrooms.
Exactly.
And it's 3 days long instead of 1.
Do you think it needed to be 3 days? Do you think you need 3 days for mushrooms?
Well,
depends on how many you're doing.
Yeah. I don't think you need 3 days to do them, but it does make for one hell of a party.
Fuck yeah. Which is what we are doing right now.
That is correct.
My lovely girlfriend was nice enough to give us all an equal dose. How do you normally ingest? How do you normally? What's your favorite? You just eat them?
I just eat them.
You just straight
it's
up eat 'em?
like there's why waste time preparing the preparations and just just trying to make teas and all this other stuff when it's just right there. You just eat it. It's all going the same way.
This is how I do them.
Mixing butter with pot and just cooking it.
Really?
Just dip them in water first, moistens them up.
It's the heat that pulls it out. Like, you ever sit in the sun all day and get fucking tired as shit just because you're in the sun? It's because the heat from the sun is taking shit out of you.
Yeah, I got sunstroke in Thailand.
Orange juice is supposed to...
We used to do orange juice when we would take other hallucinogens.
They say vitamin C is the best thing you
Yeah.
can take.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, rough.
Yeah, I'm going to have a cigarette before we start.
Oh, yeah? We'll go back and restart.
Oh, we already started?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nigga, I'll kill you, I'll chop you up, put you inside the mattress like drug money, nigga.
I like to think that my kids, my potential kids, I just don't have any kids, but in 20 years, my kids could be sneaking out on June 20th to do Shroomfest. And I could be like, you know what?
I was at the first Shroomfest. I was part of it.
Your fucking father, before he hated you.
Talk to the guy. Before he skipped out.
Talk to the actual man who set forth this. Actually helped to spread the word about it before he hated you and beat you.
He beat you mercilessly for not going to bed on time.
We've all eaten about 1/8 of mushrooms, 3.5 dried grams. It was about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, about 15, 20 minutes. So in about another 10 minutes, we should be just starting to hit.
On the floor.
Exactly.
All fucked up.
To make this happen. This was actually, I figured, what's the most appropriate place to celebrate Shroomfest and on the Higherside Chats?
The last time you were here, we did the exact
same thing.
thing.
Yes, for your birthday.
That is what it was for.
Paul wasn't here. Paul wasn't cool back then.
No.
Paul, how long have you been doing
barely cool now
at the Comedy Store?
I started doing open mic there a few years ago and got serious about it, I guess about 2 years, year and a half, 2 years ago. I've been working there for about a year now, so.
What is because you guys both actually work, you don't just perform at the store, you work for the store, right?
Yeah.
What is the process? Like, I guess you have to do a show in front of Mitzi
No. That's the Hollywood. That's the Hollywood stuff.
She doesn't come down here to do those.
Oh
things?
no. I've seen her twice in these 6.5 years I've been at the Comedy Store. 5 years working.
But you do have to you have to audition. Do you have to be a comic to work for the store too?
Yeah. Well, for the guys, that's how we find who the next guy is, because as soon as when you get a job there, you get moved up to the Best of San Diego, which means you're no longer on the open mic. You're doing shows 3 nights a week. Eventually, you get to do weekend shows, and it's a process.
And everybody's paying the rent.
Not really. No, it's
not enough.
No. Everybody else has day jobs. I don't have a day job because my day job is the Comedy Store, and I get a lot of perks. Like I bartend there too, so I get tips, which keeps me afloat. He's just broke.
It's awesome to be able to do this again on Shroomfest. And last day, Ari was cool enough to come and meet me at the Comedy Store last time he was here to talk about the Shroomfest. And I like it because I think in a lot of cases, people just have, if you just say it's a holiday for something, people do it. That's really just all it takes. Like Cinco de Mayo, everybody's going to get drunk. I could be in AA for 2 years, but hey.
Cinco de Mayo, it's an excuse.
So I think for having a day for Shroomfest is just
overdue.
Awesome.
It's a 3-day event.
Overdue.
Yeah. Is today the 20th?
It's the
It's
20th.
also
I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
I think Father's Day weekend was a misplay.
That's right. No, I ranted and raved about my piece
Well,
of
what
shit
better
father.
gift for your dad than mushrooms?
Right?
I don't think that would fly.
Him leaving. See, that's why.
that wouldn't fly with
that's
mine.
why the last day of Shroomfest is the day after Father's Day, because if the fathers didn't leave, then we probably would never have done shrooms.
Right.
Right? But Paul's dad's still around.
Yeah. I was just a fucked up kid.
He's just a fuck up. No excuse. No excuse for this one.
But at least I don't try to make one.
So when was the last time you did mushrooms when you were on the show?
Yeah, the last time I did mushrooms was on this show.
March 25th.
I think. So.
It's a good couple months. Mushrooms are obviously not something you can do every day. You'll end up like Dave.
Oh yeah, that's why he's not here.
Paul, when was the last time you did mushrooms?
It's been at least 10 years. At least.
Are you serious? It's
at
been
least
at
10
least
years.
10 years. And you're doing it here.
On the Higherside chats.
On
That's
the
right.
Higherside chats.
I appreciate being a part of this milestone in your life.
Oh, well,
Getting back
thank
on
you.
the wagon with mushrooms.
Yeah. It was never something where I was like, I don't want to do them. It was just, the right opportunity and everything else. So I guess hanging out with comics now, I'm around a lot more drugs than I was.
A lot more freedoms.
When I was married to Satan. So.
You're...
that's
wife.
my first wife.
Right,
my current wife I would never refer to as Satan because
Then
she's actually a wonderful
she's
person.
really awesome. My current wife is fucking awesome, but yeah, my first one was Satan.
Was your first wife, would she bitch at you if you did something like this? Was she that kind of
I went home, I didn't smoke anything, I didn't do any drugs the whole time we were married, except for I went home for like a week for vacation, and I smoked out with a buddy, and she was like, flipped out, like threatened divorce over this shit, man. Like, it just, irrational.
By the way, shit's just starting to hit me right now.
Yeah.
So it's about that time.
Yeah.
So it looks like. What? I like drugs.
Yeah, it's a great. I just like the idea. As soon as I can, and people are really into it. Just do shrooms, have fun, plan your parties.
It's very exciting. I think it does a lot to.
This girl on the radio today, she was like, "Oh, I want to, but I have my girlfriend's like bachelorette party." I'm like, "Then do it at the bachelorette party."
Yeah.
And you just see her face light up, like, "Oh my god, yeah!"
You could do that.
No one's
I
ever
could
done
actually do
bachelorette
that.
parties on mushrooms. No one's done that. That's epic. Whatever you got to do, don't use that as an excuse. Use that as like, "Ooh, that'll be way cooler on shrooms."
It does a lot to remove the mystery and the danger from mushrooms. 'Cause mushrooms are kind of thought to be a next level for potheads, people of that sort. And I think it does a lot to just make it a little bit sillier. Like, hey, you're not gonna. It's not that dangerous. It's just
not.
It's just fun.
Nobody
It's just
ODs
fun
on it.
times.
What's gonna happen is nothing. You might get diarrhea later once you recover. You're gonna get a little diarrhea.
I always kind of have an upset stomach.
Yeah.
I don't feel like great afterwards. But the laughs, you have amazing laughs.
Such great ones.
If you go out walking, every group of people you see seems like characters of themselves, and you can like categorize them
Just
very
laugh.
easily.
Man, I did a bunch of
Just think
shrooms at the Ottawa Blues Festival last year, and as I was leaving, I knew everybody else that was on shrooms. I could just see them.
Yeah, you can.
They're on it. They're on it. They're on it. All these people sober.
Anyways, back to your miserable wife, your ex-wife. No, he actually asked his wife his new wife, his wonderful, amazing wife. He asked her if he can come do this stuff today.
Yeah, I called her last night. I was like, "Are you good with this?" She's like, "Oh yeah, whatever."
Give it a hall pass. Like like the movie.
I mean, she's super cool. We got married last August, so we're coming up on our year anniversary.
Oh, okay.
And like when we got a couple nights beforehand, I had the bachelor party, and she told my boy Will, who this guy's been my brother since we were kids and shit. She like gave him money for the strippers. Was like, make sure he
has all this.
Make sure he has a good night, and gave me a stack of ones, and cool. So yeah, she's cool as shit.
Yeah, my girl's pretty fucking cool. She weighed all this shit out for us, and then she just
I
went
know.
for a walk.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's a good girl.
Hopefully she comes back.
What kind of training is involved with that, Greg?
I stumbled into it. I don't know. She's going to catch on one of these days.
Sweet.
And I'll be left paying more rent than I can afford. And I'll be doing these from an outlet outside of fucking Moondoggies.
Oh, man.
So I'm feeling like I definitely have taken mushrooms.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's far out. Magical mushrooms could have medical benefits, researchers say, in Yahoo News. Just sitting right next to me. Does anybody want to read this?
You can read it if you want.
No, not right now.
No, basically they're just saying. I think it's happening a lot more in the media. The more I see is medical marijuana, and then the next thing to roll out is mushrooms. I mean, in Amsterdam they have mushrooms. They sell them in dispensaries. So it's kind of the next thing. But right now, it was yesterday on 3 different websites. I saw the same story of. People at Johns Hopkins University, they see that there might be some medical benefits of mushrooms. It's like
there's been theories about that for a really long time.
Well, apparently, I guess it's like 90% of the people there had long-lasting positive experiences. Right. They say it changed their life, And then it says long-lasting positive experiences on there, and then it follows up with. It gave someone the courage to leave their husband. Positive for who?
They didn't gain up the courage. They just had a bad dose and just wigged the fuck out. It's like, I was a monster.
Do you guys put all that kind of metaphysical stuff on mushrooms, or do you just see it? Do you see it as a way to get fucked up, or you just having
recreation?
Fun?
I'm certainly not going to claim that it's helping me with any medical issues right now.
Well, right, but do you think there's anything people talk about?
I think there's validity to it. I mean, like, especially with some of the psychological conditions. I mean, it cracks me up that people are so quick to judge natural stuff when Prozac numbers are through the roof and Adderall and, like, all these different, tons of different antidepressants and drugs that are made for ADD and everything else. It's like they're being taken in record numbers, and nobody talks about that. But marijuana is automatically attacked.
The thing about mushrooms and weed, and pretty much mushrooms and weed, I won't even throw any other drug in that category. Is they make you sit there and think you're like, God. You look at your life and you're like, man, I am just going to work every day, letting some asshole tell me what to do. I have no fucking control of anything. For what? For some change? For some fucking money, just so I can, live paycheck to paycheck and barely keep a roof over my head. And
just so I can get fed. I got to deal with this guy's shit just so I can eat.
Those are the drugs that really tune me into that kind of thought process. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I'm just going to get drunk every night, I'll just wake up with a hangover, get a cup of coffee and get my ass to work. That you don't really have the introspective thoughts on them. I don't know if mushrooms and weed cause those.
I think
that out of you, but
I think they open up creativity and everything. Like, I love what George Carlin said about his writing process is that he would like spend time, like weeks or whatever writing, and then when he was ready to get all the punchlines out, he'd smoke.
Yeah,
and that helped him. He'd set the premise up. He'd set the premise of the jokes up, but then for the punchline, he would use that for creativity. So I think it can be. It can definitely open up that the creative side of people.
It does open up a creative process. It definitely enhances a way of thinking. And it's like normal people. I use the term normal people as like people that don't do comedy, that aren't comics, that aren't on stage. Normal people. Yeah, Greg. Well, you're not really normal because you have this.
Blurring the line, trying to.
But
without the internet, I would have killed myself.
Yeah, but normal people, they don't think of things in a certain way because they're born and bred to do this only little thing. But people that do comedy or entertainment or something artistic, they view things in a whole different demeanor. Whereas comics, you can talk about whatever the fuck you feel like saying.
Right.
And I'm starting to lose where this started off.
No, but I mean, as a comic, like, it's hard to hold conversations.
I'm trying to say is we do drugs. That's where it all wrapped up. We do drugs, so we see things in a different way.
Do you see shrooms as more than obviously more than a party drug?
Yeah, it's not just a fun time. Yeah, absolutely. I see things clearly. When I'm on mushrooms, I sort of see things clearly. I'm not talking about any sort of metaphysical like connection to the universe or to others. If you want to believe that, that's fine. I'm more of an atheist. I don't believe in sort of that stuff. I'm not going to tell you you're a liar or you're wrong, but to me, it's just like it helps me see clearly. Like if you ever talk through a problem and you're like, oh, I get it. That girl's cheating on me. I get it now.
Exactly.
It just helps you see things clearly. So I made a rule. The first time I did mushrooms, I was like, I should compliment other comics more. I don't know why I don't compliment them. And so I remember calling my friend Chris Fairbanks, writing him. I was like, you're a really cool comic. You have interesting technique.
That's funny you say that because just a few.
That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So mushrooms help me do that.
A few episodes ago, I was talking about like I had the same exact feeling with ecstasy.
Yeah.
My roommate started. He wanted to spin fire. A fire boy.
Yeah.
And he started doing it with tube socks and tennis balls to get the feel down of spinning fire.
Oh, cool.
And I was just like, I did actually, I'm like, I watch him do this all the time. I never say anything. He's doing it by himself. He doesn't get any encouragement.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go for it, dude. Spin that fucking fire.
It's nice to be able to say,
we're 2 blocks from the beach, good job practicing. Get out on the beach and spin some fucking fire.
It's easy to shit on things, but you can also just as easily point out the good stuff.
Right. And drugs.
And then you feel better about it.
Of a lot of types make that just easier to do.
Mm-hmm. Not all of them, but some of them. And mushrooms really does. I remember calling my friend, telling him I was just so sorry about his dad dying. And I just never really wanted to. I just felt bad about it for him. And he's like, thanks, man. What's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm on some mushrooms. He's like, all right, that makes sense.
It's fun when you can have, like, I'm sure that I will definitely at some point have to go back to the day job grind, which I'm not looking forward to. But I don't think I can go back to what I was doing before because it was soul crushing. And sometimes you need some you definitely need something to take the edge off. And if it's if pot or mushrooms is your thing, then cool. I don't think that there's anything different it's nothing different than taking Prozac or antidepressants or whatever. It helps to fill a chemical imbalance in some people.
I guess. You think people just naturally they'll find the drug that they like the most and stick with that?
Yeah,
and that's what just fits for
definitely.
Well, I mean, like if crack is your drug, then you're gonna find that, and it's gonna
find you.
You don't think there's an excuse to say, "I just have a crack personality."
Right. I was just.
That's just filling in my need. Man.
Yeah.
That's my personality.
What I'm thinking. That's like I just woke up one day and I was like, you know what? Some people get high, some people get drunk. Crack. That's gonna be my thing. I'm just gonna pick up rocks and smoke them.
I can say that I'm at a point with these mushrooms now that it is hard to follow my own train of thought, and it's also hard to listen to a full sentence from either one of you guys. It's hard to
the
hear
walls are dancing.
The end of a sentence, I'm like, where the fuck? What were we talking about? Jobs.
Who works? Fuck work. Working.
I'm going there tomorrow in less than 12 hours. I might as well be in prison.
At least you're not driving a bus or anything, though.
Yeah, right. Nothing important like that where people's lives,
you're not a fireman.
I've done more drugs with firefighters.
Creatively,
that makes me feel super safe the next time I have to dial 911.
They're like, we're not cops. We're just there to fucking put out fires and save old people. Like, they party more than anybody else that I've ever met in my life. Firefighters. Firefighters. Well, you gotta be fucked up. Like, hey, look, everything.
You definitely have to have a different personality to be willing.
Everything in there's on fire, and I'm just gonna walk in there and then they do shit. That's, You know, you gotta
The
be
only
crazy.
2 guys I know who are firefighters were pretty fucking crazy and weird.
Yeah, see? That's,
They were like the only
people who tried everything else. They're the people who tried every fucking other thing, couldn't get into every other school program.
No,
was a little too long. But the firefighting one is like a few weeks shorter than police academy.
Well, it's
They're like, I can
definitely
do that one.
it's the Air Force.
it's a generational thing too. It's like the military, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, my grandfather was a
Air
firefighter
Force.
and my dad was a
The Air
firefighter.
Force,
You know.
think people got to be able to fly planes.
Well,
That's the hardest thing there is.
Yeah, well, you still got to
Planes
put out
don't naturally
fires.
fly,
That's
but
that's like
cars naturally
firefighters
fly.
is like the Air Force of the military circuit.
The crazy ones.
Yeah, like, well, they're not really crazy to where it's like easier to get into firefighting than it is
Right,
to get
the
a
same
police force.
personality.
I'm just going off again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. You're
just-
good at your Amtrak. And
They're
these
good
conversations.
trims. They're good trims.
Really
It's all
good
right.
shows. And it was
I
a
mean,
whole
I-
eighth. Shit just kind of starts hitting you. And I just wolfed them down. I'm sorry. I didn't even
No,
wait.
me too.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
It's funny to have, I know I'm going to look back at this and laugh, but at this point I'm like, I don't want to do this at all.
You don't even want to do the podcast now.
I don't. I see that cracked open door and I'm like, frisbee golf or something.
get outside.
For this, I like the idea of connecting everybody to each other too. Like it's sort of
Yeah.
the internet age, so I made a Facebook like a fan page for it.
Yeah,
Just hit
exactly.
and then that's a place
And
people
Twitter
can
and
go post.
Facebook
Yeah,
is-
post pictures and whatever. Twitter, we got a hashtag Shroomfest.
Exactly.
So anything you do, fucking hashtag it up, and people just follow along in real time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like some crazy shit's going down.
It really is.
Look at my
dude.
friend Bobby, he's hugging the dirt. And you just take a picture of that, you're like, oh, hi, this guy's shooting me, I'm going to shoot him tomorrow. Or I shot him yesterday, let me watch these guys today.
Do you have any concerns about it being, you know, the way people put up salvia videos of it just being nonsense, just craziness? Do you have any concerns of it being nonsense? Do you want people to get something out of it, or do you really
Yeah, I want
care?
them to see that it's a cool thing and just fucking do it.
You see it as
I don't
just
want, for myself, I don't want anything out of it. I might host a place on my website, AriShaffir.com or AriTheGreat.com, just to like a place to put people, like pictures and videos and stuff, just to host them. But like, I don't want anything out of it. I just want the idea of everybody doing them. I just like it. So it's like, for whatever reason, I got the idea, so I'm in charge.
No, that's
You
the
know?
shit.
And then let's just do it. Let's get it done.
So yeah, go eat a shit ton of shrooms, relax for a little bit, talk amongst friends, and then when it's time to go, it's time to go. I feel like a giant right now. I'm just, that's just me.
We're hitting on a lot of deep subjects here. A lot of substance.
Mike feels like a
podcasts. We're all about to start tearing up.
Uh,
And this is when it needs to end.
I think so, yeah.
We are peaking right now, I think, is what we're all trying to say.
And it's going to be really hard to,
If we're not peaking,
That's
it's
an
a
early
scary
peak,
thing.
right?
It pretty much is, but I mean, I feel like if this is not halfway there, then I'm
Yeah,
fucked.
yeah, you're like,
If I'm
what
not
is
halfway there yet?
what is an
right
hour
now,
from now going to be
yeah.
like?
all right, I'm
I'm
feeling
not going
pretty damn
anywhere.
good.
You guys want to go somewhere?
I'm going to go hang out with Ari
This isn't the end of your
Shaffir.
day.
It's just-
Like, to me, this is the end of my fucking day. My day is derailed.
That's why you're smart to